So, if you've spent any time online lately, you've seen it, right? This high-octane world of Forex trading. It kind of just pops up everywhere, flashing this promise of incredible wealth, total freedom, and yeah, a lifestyle packed with supercars and crazy seven-figure profits.
And it usually starts with a title just like this one. You're just scrolling through your feed and bam, you see these numbers that are just, impossible to ignore. They dangle this idea of a shortcut, a fast track to a life that most people only ever dream about.
And of course, it's not just the numbers. It's the posts that feature the cars to prove it. Whether it's traders showing off their Ferraris, their Lambos, or a brand new Range Rover, the message they're sending is crystal clear. This can fill your garage with some serious horsepower. I mean, it's an incredibly tempting picture, right? But it really begs the question, what's the reality behind all that hype? What does it actually take to get your foot in the door of the Forex world? All right, let's really dive in and find out. Okay, so before we can even start thinking about profits or fancy strategies, we have to get our heads around the absolute fundamentals. What even is the Forex market? Let's build this thing from the ground up. At its very core, the Forex market is just the biggest, busiest financial market on the planet. Period. Think of it as this giant global hub where one country's money gets swapped for another 24 hours a day. And here's a key detail. You don't just trade one currency by itself. You always trade them in pairs. The best way to think about it is like a tug of war. So when you trade something like the euro versus the US dollar, you're basically placing a bet on which one is going to win, which one's going to get stronger.
Now that brings us to a super important idea called the spread. Let me make it simple. There's one price to buy a currency, that's the ask price, and a slightly lower price to sell it, that's the bid. That tiny little difference between the two, that's the spread. It's how the brokers make their money, and it's a built-in cost on every single trade you make.
All right, so you get the basics of the game. Now, let's talk about getting you geared up. What are the actual practical tools you're going to need to step into the arena? Your setup really just boils down to three key things. First, you need a broker. That's the company that connects you to the market and actually places your trades. Second, you'll need a platform. Something like MetaTrader 5 is super popular. That's your command center for trading. And finally, you'll want a powerful charting tool like TradingView to analyze everything and spot your opportunities. Now here's where things get really interesting. Once you have all your tools, you quickly realize there is no single right way to trade. I mean, there are entire philosophies, whole playbooks dedicated to trying to figure out the market.
Generally speaking, traders fall into two main camps. You've got your technical analysts. These are the chart people. They believe every bit of information they need is right there in the price chart. They're looking for patterns. Then you have your fundamental analysts, the news people. They're focused on economic reports, interest rates, big world events, anything that can move a currency.
And believe me, within those two big approaches, a whole universe of different strategies opens up. You'll hear terms like price action, which is all about reading the candle patterns on the chart, or smart money concepts, which tries to follow what the big banks are doing. Some people are scalpers, who get in and out of trades super fast for tiny profits, while day traders just want to be done with all their trades by the end of the day. But here's the twist, and honestly, this is the most important part. You could have the world's best strategy, the fastest computer, the most expensive tools, and still fail. Why? Because every single successful trader agrees on one thing. The charts, they are not the real battlefield. The real battle is all happening up here, in your head. Like trading coach Stephen Hart says, your mind is the biggest factor in all of this. It's how you handle fear, how you manage greed, and how you sit with uncertainty that's going to decide if you make it or not, way more than any strategy ever will. You're going to hear this number thrown around a lot. Some people estimate that up to 95% of new traders lose money and eventually just quit. And the biggest reason isn't because they chose a bad strategy. Nope. It's a lack of psychological control. It's getting stuck on that emotional roller coaster, right? You let one bad loss turn into 5 more revenge trades, or you let greed turn a great win into a crushing loss. Real, lasting success in this game rests on these 4 pillars. You need the discipline to actually stick to your plan, no matter what your emotions are screaming at you. You need the patience to wait for the right opportunity, not just any opportunity. You have to have emotional control to stay level-headed, and absolutely crucially, you need strict risk management so that one bad trade can never, ever wipe you out. This is the real work.
So, knowing all of this, knowing that the biggest challenge is actually internal, what is the absolute safest, smartest, and most effective way to begin your trading journey?
Before you even think about risking a single dollar of your own money, Listen to me. Every single credible trader and teacher will tell you the exact same thing. Open a demo account. It's like a flight simulator for trading. You get to use the real live market, but with fake money. It's your gym. It's where you practice, where you make mistakes, and where you build discipline, all completely risk-free.
You see, when it comes right down to it, the path from being an aspiring trader to a consistently successful one isn't some big secret. The information's out there. The strategies, the tools, it's all available. That lifestyle you see online, yeah, it's possible. But it is not built on a dream. It's built on discipline. So the map is in your hands. The real question is, can you master yourself enough to actually follow it